Now, last month, you may remember hearing from David Spencer, who was chatting about his late daughter, Shirebrook singer-songwriter Cara Jane Spencer. Now, her posthumous album, In Limbo, was released last week on Severe ME Day. The album continues Cara's mission to raise £100,000 for the ME Association. Now, joining me this morning to talk about her sister's powerful legacy and her own contribution to the album is Emily Louise. Now, morning, Emily.
Morning.
Your sister's album, In Limbo, is out now in the world. And how has it felt for you and the family to see it released and witness people's reaction to her music?
Oh, it's been really great. I think it's been a little bit nerve-wracking for me, putting some very private feelings out there on two songs that are very much about grief and battling with my sister dying. And it's been really great to see people's responses already. I know a lot of people out there still battling with ME have said that it's really, really touched their hearts, and it's nice that some people are able to relate to what she was going through.
Yeah, I could imagine, Emily, a wave of emotions, all sorts of emotions, like pride, and then, like you say, you're opening up and you're being like very honest in a situation like this, which is a very difficult one to deal with. But yeah, so the album has now been released. You feature on two of the tracks of the album. What was it like? What was it like? Recording with your sister in those moments.
I think that's what's really sad is that. About a month or two before she died, we spent an afternoon together just listening to some of her ideas for some new songs, and I was brave enough because I do get a bit nervous singing. I've always sung with Cara, but I get nervous singing around other people. But I decided to share these two songs with her that I had that shared a little bit of my experience of dealing with the grief that we were dealing with together of her dying.
Sure.
And I think it was a really nice way of sharing how I was feeling at the time, how hard it was to watch her struggle, but how much I loved her, but sometimes stayed away because it was so hard to be near her when she was going through a really difficult moment. And so she got to listen to that, and she said, "Oh, I'd love that to be on my album. I'd love for us to do this together." And then she died. So we didn't, although she'd heard them and I'd sung them to her, we didn't get to record them together. But I'm really glad that after she's died, we've been able to put it into action for her.
Well, that must be so difficult, but also the fact that she actually did get to hear and understand how you felt in the words of your song. Like we hear so much from songwriters about how, writing it in music is a great way of like reflecting your emotions. So she would have heard directly from your soul through those lyrics, and that's what now we can hear that on the album. Now you've also been performing songs from Cara's album at a big fundraising event next month. Now you say you're nervous singing, but you're going out there and you're keeping your sister's name.
Yeah, doing it for her.
Which is an amazing thing to do. How are you preparing for that? And like, I imagine, keeping on top of the emotions whilst, trying to give a positive message about your sister's name.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to keep it together. I think it'll be an emotional evening, but it'll be great. It's at Speedwell Rooms on the 20th September in Staveley, and it's going to be a great fundraising event. We're going to sing some of her songs. We're going to be entertained by our local choir, and thankfully I'm a part of that local choir, so having all the ladies with me is going to fill me with they're just going to make me feel okay on the night, I think.
Strength. Solidarity.
Yeah, give me a bit of strength, yeah. But it's going to be a great night. We're going to try and make it really fun, sing some of her songs, celebrate her life. Because Cara's dream really was to raise that £100,000 to support the ME Association. And sadly, just as she was coming towards her death, when she did die, we did try and get her body donated for research, but they just didn't have the funding in place. And so this is so important to try and establish a post-mortem research facility for those who do die with or from ME.
Well,
and I know Cara would really, really be thankful that we've tried to do that for her.
Well, it's incredible how your family have all come together, like through all this difficultness that you've had to go through, to try and give back and to help like ME and the association. And so raising this £100,000, how important is it for you personally to see this mission through as a family?
I think it's incredibly important, and it's hard. I feel like for us it's a way of keeping her memory alive. We want to do this for her, but we want to do this for all these people that are still suffering, and I want it to keep going. to try and get to that 100,000. But even then, I don't think we'll ever stop, because we've seen Cara struggle. We've seen how hard it was for her to battle with that disease. And there's so many people that are still battling with that disease. And they just need the funding to try and research it and figure out what we can do to help those people.
I mean, it's incredible what you're doing, Emily. And for those of us who never met your sister, what was she like?
She was very protective and kind. She loved music. She'd have playlists and playlists of music that she wanted to share with me, and music was a big part of us growing up. She was also incredibly stubborn and very headstrong. So when my dad always drilled it into us when we were kids that we could do anything we set our mind to. So when Cara found out that Emmy was eventually going to kill her, she wasn't going to let dying stop her. So singing was the last thing she could do. She couldn't paint anymore. She couldn't type anymore. She was struggling to move. She could hardly move her body, but she could sing. And so that was a way that she wanted to share her story and carry on.
Right, it's incredible.
When she couldn't do anything else.
And now that music's out for people to enjoy. Do you hope the album will tell the world and help people remember, who your sister was and what she had to offer the world?
Yeah, and give people who are suffering with ME something to relate to. I mean, anybody could relate to it. A lot of people have gone through losing family members and how hard that is. And I think it's an album that lots of people can relate to.
Well, Emily, it's been incredible talking to you. It's fantastic what you and your family are doing for the ME Association, continuing to raise that £100,000 in memory of your brilliant sister, Cara Jane Spencer. Her posthumous album, In Limbo, is out and you can hear it. Emily, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.